Hello all and welcome back to the second video of my Making a Guitar series. In the last video I explained why and how I was going to make a guitar. In this video I am going to show how you can find pre-made guitar necks and bodies online and why you should do so. So before I explain kind of where I would recommend looking for guitar necks and bodies, I want to explain why I think it's actually better to go online to try and find guitar bodies and necks to purchase instead of making them yourself. Now the main reason to do this is price. A company that makes guitar bodies as their daily business will have access to great prices on woods as they buy them on bulk. Now they'll also have access to the tools and machinery used to make these, and the tools that they'll have will be able to make multiple guitars at once, rather than the kind of hand tool or the individual power tools that you would use in your shed. The other is speed. These companies will be making many guitar bodies per day with automated precision machinery. These bodies are literally made by the hundreds and are sat right now waiting in warehouses for you to click order and purchase. So along with being cheaper, they can be with you in days. Compare this to the time that it would take you to find the right templates, order the wood, make the measurements and learn how to operate the tools, and have a couple of practice attempts of messing them up. Basically, you can clearly see that just buying it is definitely quicker. The third kind of pro is that building guitar bodies is more difficult than you think. It's not just creating the shape and putting in space for the pickups. The distance between the bridge and the nut, as an example, have to be exact. And when I say exact, I mean to a fraction of a millimetre. Otherwise your guitar's intonation will be completely off and you'll sound out of tune all of the time. If you buy a guitar body for this, with the bridge holes already in, and you don't need to worry about this, you just need to buy a guitar neck with the same scale length, and then you're set. Now the next pro kind of leads on from the last one. It's kind of peace of mind. So in addition to kind of it being more difficult than you think, if the body arrives when you've bought it and there's a problem with it, you can return it and get your money back. Now if you mess it up when you're cutting up that lovely bit of mahogany that you ordered online, that's it. You've wrecked that wood and you've thrown your money away. The other pro that I think is that there's lots of great options available. If you've never made a guitar body before, then the chances are that you won't know how to do binding, or contouring, or place a veneer or a cap on the body. Now these are elements that can really add some visual flair and some physical comfort to your guitar and make that guitar just more special for you. Rather than buy all the tools and learn how to do this and make 100 mistakes with practice bodies, if you buy the body pre-made, these are premium features that you can get for your guitar and still save money on kind of the components and getting the things that you want. Now the final pro that I can think of for buying these parts online pre-made is one that won't be the same for everyone. It won't count all the time, but basically second-hand deals on bodies and necks can be quite good. I think specifically necks, it's the one part of a body, especially with bolt-ons, that I think people do tend to kind of swap out the most. It's the most modular part of a guitar, or the most modular major part of a guitar. So it's worth always looking on eBay for guitar necks that, for like if you like Ibanez guitars, for example. Go on eBay and look for Ibanez guitar necks. You'll be surprised how many people are selling just the necks themselves, and it can be a great way of kind of, as an example, get a Fender Strat, put a Ibanez neck on it. You've got something unusual there. So yeah, it's worth looking online as well for those, because you can make a great save and get a fantastic, well-made neck for next to nothing. Now, as I said in the first video, I am a big fan of Fender Telecasters, so the guitar body that I'm going to be looking for is going to be a Telecaster body, or a T-type body as they're known, to avoid legal ramifications. Now, the thing with T-type bodies is that they do tend to be made out of ash or similar kind of soft woods on the fenders. One of the things that I want is a Telecaster or a T-type body that's made out of mahogany. It's not a typical thing to find on a Fender, so let's go and see if we can find one. Now this body here that I've just found, it's not not what I'm looking for, but I think it deserves an honorary mention. This gives you an idea of the types of things that you can find if you look for second-hand gear. The price is a little bit more than I'd ideally want to be paying for, 178 British pounds, plus £8 shipping, but it is a gorgeous looking body, and it's actually got what looks like some of the original Fender hardware on it as well. So that is a great looking kind of find. It is made of, they've described it as ash or older, which are lovely bodies for a Telecaster, but not lovely woods for a Telecaster, I should say, but not quite what I'm looking for. I am really looking for that kind of Fender but shape, but with a mahogany body. Although that is a fantastic find. Now this is a little bit more along the lines of what I'm looking for. It is just the body itself. It appears to be unfinished. A 3-piece mahogany Telecaster or T-type body. It's gorgeous. String through holes there so that you can put the strings through the body, getting some great tone that way. But £164.95 is a little bit more expensive than what I'm thinking I could spend on a body, even with free delivery. Yeah, it's along the right lines. It is a nice looking guitar, but not quite what we're looking for. Something like that, maybe a little bit less money, or I'd say significantly less money. I think over £100 for a guitar body is a little steep. Now this is a better find. They call it a Knoxville electric guitar body. I believe that the Knoxville line is what Gear for Music call their kind of T-type guitar bodies. This is just the body on its own, made of mahogany, and it looks like it's got some pretty lovely looking binding around it as well. As I mentioned, binding is one of those things, if you can't make a body, or if you've not made a body yet, you probably can't kind of root out and then put in place the binding. This is a kind of premium-ish kind of feature that, if you look at that price, £49.99 for a beautiful looking kind of mahogany body, pre-routed, so you know the space for the pickups and all the electrics, or most of the electrics, to go in there. That's bringing down the amount of work that you'll need to do. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be any work to do to that to get that up to standard, but it's the challenging bits are done basically. So this is going to be ordered by me. Hopefully it'll turn out to be a good body, but looking at that, I'm pretty sure that's going to be absolutely fine, and for less than £50, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now in terms of second-hand guitar necks, this kind of counts. So I was chatting to John about guitar neck choices, and he sent me a picture of a few necks that he has lying around that he's not doing anything with. These are all potential candidates for neck. There's a Jackson in there, there's 2 Ibanezes, and there's one that looks suspiciously like the Tree of Life kind of Ibanez Steve Vai neck. I'm not 100% convinced that it is. John has been told by someone that it is an unfinished one, but I have seen Tree of Life type necks online myself before for kit build guitars, so I'm not 100% convinced, although it is gorgeous, and I'm not fussy. Even if that was a knockoff neck, I'd be quite happy with that on my guitar. But as I've mentioned in the previous video, I am looking for a kind of maple neck guitar. Yeah, it's close, but it's not 100% what I'm looking for. If I could find a guitar neck like that Tree of Life one, but with a maple fretboard, I'd be made. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit basic, you can get something like this. I'll be honest, I think that would be perfectly fine. You might need to kind of polish down the frets and neaten things up a little bit, but with the time taken, you could turn this kind of £35 kind of spare neck into something really quite special. For £35, you can even experiment with like fret scalloping if that was something that you were interested in doing. And if you do it wrong, it's only £35. It's not like you've ruined a guitar, you've ruined a cheap neck. But yeah, it does look nice. It is only 21 frets, I think. So it's not. I mean, I like to have the flexibility of 24 frets, so I'm not 100% convinced on it. And also, I want that wow factor. Whilst it is a nice looking neck, it's not quite as flamboyant as what I'd be looking for. Whilst I could learn the intricacies of putting in fret inlays myself, I am wanting something kind of off the shelf with some fancy looking fretwork on it. So I won't go for that, but definitely nice to know that exists for such little money. Well, it did not take long. Thankfully, it was actually John. I have to give a shout out to him again. John was the one that found this online. It's on eBay. A Yinfente, or Yinfente electric guitar neck, 24 frets, maple fretboard, truss rod, and a strange Tree of Life style kind of fretwork on the inlay with a maple fretboard. That's what I want. Absolutely perfect. Available on eBay somehow for £40 plus £17.90 from delivery from China. So obviously this is a bit of a risk. I have ordered it. I don't know how good that is going to look in person, or whether or not I'll have to pay kind of customs and excise on that. Hopefully I won't, because it's not a very expensive thing, but I'm willing to take a gamble on this and see how it comes, see if it's anything good. Estimated delivery between Monday the 17th of September and Tuesday the 16th of October, so it's going to take some time to come over to the UK, but I am interested in whether or not this will be terrible or not. I don't know how well the picture will work on YouTube, but it looks okay, kind of like maybe a Jackson style headstock, but with a kind of Ibanez Tree of Life style fret inlay work. That could look cool. Hopefully it'll be good. I think there's always a gamble when you're buying things on eBay from China. Some of the stuff that comes out of China is fantastic. Like my Skybald guitar, for instance, is one of the nicest guitars I've ever played, made in China. They do make good guitars in China, but there's always a risk. I don't know who I would contact if this came wrong, so probably no one. But so it's a gamble, but I'm going to try with it and see if this is the right thing for me. So to conclude this video on the guitar body and the guitar neck for my custom build, I have purchased the Knoxville electric guitar body from gearformusic.com over here in the United Kingdom for £49.99, and with delivery that's just £67.68, less than 70 quid for a mahogany body T-type body with some lovely looking binding. The routing's done for the pickups and for the pickup selector switch and the jack, so that's saving me some time, but that binding really does look cool. I don't think that I'd ever be able to learn how to do that with tools myself. Now, I also bought the guitar neck. Got that from eBay. This one's a bit more of a risk. It's coming in from China. It's only £40, although the delivery is £17.90 from China. Fingers crossed that arrives without me having to pay any kind of import duty. But it certainly looks good on the picture on eBay. Some beautiful maple neck with some lovely Tree of Life style fretwork inlays there, with a little Jackson style pointy headstock, so that could be quite exciting. As I said, it's always a risk when you buy things from eBay, especially if it's from another country outside, especially like China. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not great, so it's a bit of a risk. I'm looking forward to seeing how it kind of comes out, but the neck collectively, the price and the delivery so far is working out of £57.89. Now that's including delivery. I hope if there's an update, if that arrives and I've got to pay some import duties, I will update the video. I'll put like a note on the bottom of the screen, but as of yet, for the body and the guitar neck, so far this guitar build has cost me £125.57. Now I know I could go out and buy a second-hand Squire Strat or Telly for this, but I'm looking for something a little bit more dreamy, and I don't think I'd find a guitar with a maple body and that kind of neck for that price. So far I'm alright with that cost. So in the next video I'll be looking at the electrics that go into a guitar. Now this arguably is the most important part in terms of shaping your sound, even definitely more important in my opinion than the wood that you're using. So we'll be looking at the pickups that I'll be using, as well as the bridge, as in this case it will be a piezo bridge, so that is an electric device, as well as the potentiometers and volume pots and all that lot. Some of that stuff might not sound like it's that important, but your guitar is only as strong as its weakest link, so I'll be looking a little bit more about kind kind of which bits of electrics I'll be buying. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you there, and have a good day. Cheers, take care, bye.